affected by this would be Ravi Jadeja and Anil Kumble. And perhaps Derek Underwood, although if you call him a spinner.
He was a freak.
He was deadly on a pitch like this if it was wet and drying.
Yeah, medium pace and nibbling around at quite some angles.
Hence the nickname.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so Australia need 122 runs to win from 39 overs. They've got 9 wickets in hand. So we're just trying to think of ways that Australia can mess this up.
I know.
But it's,
those options are narrowing, aren't they?
Yeah.
Our friends at Cricket 365 say in the 1990-91 B&H night series, Natal needed 7 off 1 ball, and Richard Snell bowled a no ball that Jonty Rhodes hit for 6. How do you feel, Snelly?
I feel there's a county game in T20 probably in the last couple of seasons where something similar like that's happened, where I think the team needed 11 off 1 ball and managed to get it for that reason. And
good ball.
Mashrafi bowls, and it's a fortunate inside edge, but it goes all the way down behind the wicket keeper. There's a diving stop from the fielder there, so they just managed to get 2.
I think there's a T20 match in Australia. It might have been one of the first big bashes where Travis Burt scores 13 off 1 ball.
Yeah, wasn't there one where it was... There was
a no ball, then it was a following no ball 6.
Yeah. I mean,
then a wide,
you
then
see
a boundary.
That, yeah, you see that happen quite a bit, but obviously not at the end of an innings as Mushraf bowls, and Smith hits that very, very straight as possible down the ground, just missing the stumps at the other end, but he managed to complete 2 runs. 64 for 1.
Our friends again at Cricket 365 follow up the Jonty Rhodes thing by saying he hit the next ball for 4. At the time, the no ball didn't tack an extra one on.
Oh. Bizarre competition rules. Yeah.
I know, it's weird, isn't it?
So we've got the table up. England currently top of the group at the minute with 2 points from their win against Bangladesh. New Zealand and Australia are tied on 1 point each for their no result on Friday. Bangladesh bottom as Mashraf bowls, and that one just goes across Warner and goes through to the keeper.
Well bowled that, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's sort of
good ball. It just offered to shape in and then held its line and went across him.
Yeah, sort of disciplined line and length we saw quite a lot from the Australian teamers, actually.
You need to tell perhaps Australia that this is actually Trent Bridge and Stuart Broad is bowling to them on the first morning of a test.
It doesn't look dissimilar, does it?
Do something like that. So that ball just goes out of the offside by Davey Warner. And there's 1 run.
I think they've got to change the game plan. They've got nothing going for this at the moment.
It's impossible, though, isn't it? You know, they've only got the players and the bowling options that they've got, haven't they? They can try a few different things, but it's very much in hope.
Yeah, you got to try all those things, though. It's last chance saloon, isn't it? Really.
Mashraf bowls and just worked away around the corner on the onside behind square for 1.
Okay, so news from next door from Will is that the Burt thing that Jason was referring to was 20 off 1 ball, 6 no ball, 6 no ball, 6. Extraordinary stuff. Yeah. So after 1 legal delivery, it's 20.
Mashraf comes in and bowls and just again on the stumps, but played down into the ground for his 3rd man, and he collects a comfortable single, end of the over. Any tweets?
Not since Cricket 365's amusing anecdote about the Natal B&H night series antics.
I suppose it is because the game's a bit one-sided, etc., isn't it? The tweets have dried up, or we haven't got as many.
We've got one in from George Young here. From memory, Mahady got most of his test wickets versus England with the one that went straight on, especially Ben Duckett. Well, I just remember him bowling a very disciplined line and length. frankly, for an off-spin in those conditions. He did turn the ball. I'm sure he did get a few, and we commentated on we commentated on all of that series. I'm sure he got a fair degree of success with the straight on, and that's part of the spinner's armoury. That's absolutely fine. And Ben Duckett was, of course,
a walking wicket.
Pretty hopeless.
So they've only given Mahady 1 over as Ruba Hossain comes back into the attack. He bowls to David Warner. He tucks that round the corner down to fine leg. And they're going to run through for 2. So maybe it was where they saw that ball moving away. Yeah. They decided perhaps to reintroduce Ruba Hossain. As they only give Mahady 1 over. Or they're going to change the end that he's bowling at, perhaps.
Maybe they're just running through everything. We've got to try everything now. It is the last chance saloon. I think you may as well get fielders in on the 1 here. Say if you're going to hit us over the top, try and induce a false shot. Got to try all these things.
So Ruba Hossain starts his run. He crouches down low to begin it and bowls, and it just played out through the offside, down into the ground, but bounces over the field at a backward point. And it means again that Warner can run through for 2. He's 34 not out.
He does that weird crouch. You mentioned that, Ian, at the start of his run-up, doesn't he? Sort of almost like he's showing his arse to the crowd behind before he sets off on his run-up. A strange physical tick, that.
Yeah, because Mark Wood does a sort of roadrunner type thing at the start of his run, doesn't he?
It's imaginary starting blocks behind him.
And then, there it is again. Hossain crouches down as if he's praying or keeping wicket or something, and he bowls, and it just goes down to sort of deep square leg, about 15 yards in from the boundary that's fielded. And again, they just complete a single. So the run's coming easily. They're managing to milk the bowling that's on offer. And it's very, very comfortable for Australia. I'm hoping by regularly saying how easy and comfortable it is that it's going to...
You can jinx them.
We're running through our box of tricks just as Bangladesh would be hoping to run through theirs.
Yeah, as Rubel comes in, right arm over, pulled away by Steve Smith, goes down to deep square leg. There's a diving stop from the fielder, and they keep that... Well, keep it down to 2 there.
I mean, that's the other tactic they can try and employ, is to rough them up with different lengths.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, why not?
But they don't really have the bowlers to do it.
No, you can only work with what you got, of course. Taskin's not playing. He might be the quickest bowler in the squad.
He's certainly the tallest, I think.
Yeah.
As Rubel bowls and played out on the offside this time. Goes down to the man at deep cover. And there's
he's just one. He's just worried a pigeon there. Did you not see that?
Pigeon warrior.
Yeah. One of them on one of the many pitches that you have at the Oval. Was minding its own business, and then the ball skirted past him, so flew out of the way rather quickly.
Do you want to hear one of my dad's jokes from when I was growing up? Here, your dog's been worrying my sheep. Oh, yeah? Yeah, been running around him shouting, mint sauce, mint sauce.
As Ruvel is ready again, crouches down and then begins his run. He bowls right arm over, pulled uppishly though by David Warner, so not timed at all where he wants it, and he just finds a man at mid-on, no run.
Hey, we've got a new follower called Mitch Stringer.
Welcome.
Sounds like you should be playing for Australia. And he does indeed declare himself in Australia. So regarding, I think you mean Gatting rather than Gatong, playing with himself, this is included when batting as him in stick cricket. Aha! And he says, go Aussies, he hashtags. Well, lovely to have you with us, Mitch. We're hoping your boys somehow fuck it up, but I don't think you're going to. And swing it both ways. It says, why are there boring middle overs in this game? Australia giving it the MFing smash. I'm falling asleep here. Well, they're going to win the game, aren't they?
They're going to win in 30 overs, I think.
Aren't they? Swing it. Cricket 365 say Bangladesh should escape sanction if they take an age to bowl their overs and the game is rained off. Quite funny.
Well, that was mentioned on Cricket Info earlier.
Mashraf bowls to Steve Smith, who just plays it out to mid-on.
That one of the tactics that they might... Fortunately, you have to be, well, either ahead on Duckworth at that point or not bowl 20 overs at that point. And I don't think either is going to happen, sadly.
No, we seem to have, so far, the rains hold off. We had a short delay, but that just delayed 6 minutes of play, so we haven't lost any overs here so far. As Mashraf comes in, he bowls, and it's just on the offs, straight down the ground, and fielded there at mid-on. 1 run to the total. So I mentioned Jason if he was going to any games. You going to any games, Paul?
Yeah, I've actually managed to score a ticket for the India-South Africa game on Sunday coming up with my new friend Raj from the same cricket club as my little boy, and his little boy goes to the same one. So I'm going with him and his some of his family members. Looking forward to it enormously.
Fantastic. Yeah, I went to Bangladesh against England at the Oval the other day as Mashraf bowls, and it just played out on the offside, fielded by the man at extra cover. There's no run there.
More extraordinary statistical investigation from Will next door. He's pointed out that Ponting took 21 off a single Telemachus ball, which went no ball 4, no ball 1, no ball 4, no ball 6, and 2. That was, I think, in that famous game, the two 400s in 06.
Oh, the 4-3-4 versus 4-3-8.
Yeah.
Mashraf bowls, and Warner just plays that off his pad, tucks it round the corner, down to long leg. There's a couple of runs there.
Telemachus sounds like a sort of crap invention that Amstrad make, isn't it? Something that you can phone and text at the same time.
An obscure craftwork track or something like that.
And David Warner's just reached a record. He's just gone to 4,000 ODI runs at an average of 44.9.
Yeah, 1,300s in that.
Slappable face, but a bloody good player.
Yeah, he is. Best 179. As he's ready, he looks around to his leg side just to look at the field. He looks for the offside to look at the rest of the field there. He's doing it again. He's looking behind him. He's looking at the scoreboard where it's got a big picture of him saying 4,000 runs. Mashraf bowls and just tucked down on the leg side. There's run through a quick single.
That 4-3-4, 4-3-8 match annoys one of my friends so much because in that 4-3-4 versus 4-3-8, Brett Lee only bowls 9 overs. He doesn't bowl his full quota. He says, why wouldn't you bowl one of the best bowlers in the world if you're being hit all round the park?
Yeah, and was it Mick Lewis who went?
Mick Lewis went for 105 off 10 overs, which until a couple of years ago was the most expensive ODI.
Mashraf bowls and just tucks that round the corner down to long leg. There's going to be 1 run.
And
Steve Smith.
Dr. Dan, perhaps, well, predicting that we may not see much more of Aaron Finch in this tournament, says, in case it's my only chance to sketch him, here's a sketch of said Aaron Finch. And your sketches are absolutely fantastic, Dr. Dan, by the way, and you do them so quickly. So I've retweeted that out, and I urge everyone to have a look at it. It's another little work of art there.
So there's different...
Ouch. We've been corrected very slightly by Wendy from the other room, who says that Lee only bowled 7.5 overs of his quota, not 9 as I thought.
That must make your friend even madder, knowing that he left even more balls out.
And Mick Lewis went for 113.
Was it off 9 or 10, Lewis? He can't have bowled all 10, surely.
I think he did.
Yeah, we got Ruben Hussain bowls played out on the onside, backward of point, but diving stop prevents the run.
If I'm not wrong, Hilton House was in danger of beating that recently. I say recently, about 3-4 years ago.
Yeah. He was half decent, wasn't he, Hilton House? How many Test matches did he play? 40, something like that. I only guess 40.
Yeah. So we've got Rubel Hussain coming in for the pavilion end. Right arm over. He bowls and just driven out through cover by Steve Smith. And adds another run to the total. So Australia are 81 for 1. Duckworth Lewis is just so on the screen, 37. So they're more than double that. And I think even if another wicket fell, they'd still be around double if that happened. Sky is in around the oval, quite grey.
Not grey enough, though, Ian.
No, not grey enough. And I get the feeling that we're going to get past 20 overs. Do you?
Yeah, I reckon so. After this ball, news of the most deranged tweeter ever.
Rubel Hussain bowls, and that
ball.
one just cuts through David Warner, just beats his inside edge, goes between the gap between his inside edge and his body, straight through to the keeper.
Very well bowled, isn't it?
He's quite rapid, Rubel. I mean, that's nearly 90 miles an hour.
Yeah. I mean, he could be a man in this side to try a couple of short ones and, God, no, get a short leg and do something. He's got to try something at this point, isn't he? Anyway, delusional, weird tweeter alert. But someone called Greg, or Tester Sid, refers to Piggy Smith as God. God's batting technique is weird, but at least he's not bowling shitty leg spin these days. He works in mysterious ways.
Rubel bowls and just tucked away by Warner. Not in control of that shot because he just manages to put it up in the air slightly on the leg side, but as there's no close in fielders at all, then no danger for him. No run. So 81 for 1.
Ghosting away, aren't they?
Yeah. It's a trot in the park, barring the weather. Group's interesting, isn't it? I mean, New Zealand will still fancy their chances. They still have to play Bangladesh, and they'd fancy the chances against Bangladesh.
They would. I mean, they had that tri-series recently in Ireland, haven't they? So they'd be well used to each other as opponents over the last few weeks. As Rubel Hussain's ready to come in, he bowls to Warner. That one lifts nicely. Warner has to take his hand off the bat there as it's a lifting delivery, and in control of it, plays it down into the ground in front of him, but took one hand off the bat as Rubel is tested. The umbrellas are up in the crowd,
I was going to say, is that a sign that the moisture's coming back to the wicket?
Yeah, so maybe, just maybe.
Like that final afternoon at the Oval in 05, though, when all the English fans were getting their brollies out and all the Aussies were putting their shades on, taking their shirts off. Great theatre.
That's right. So, bit of rain approaching, we think. Hussain crouches down, and he's ready. He bowls, and Warner tries to pull that one away. He manages to do so, but not fluently at all. So it just goes to mid-wicket, and he runs through for a single. We've had 15 overs, 82 for 1. So 5 away from the game. Yeah, so 30 deliveries, maybe if Bangladesh did start wasting a bit of time.
It'd be quite funny if they started doing it. Show a bit of game craft, wouldn't it?
And if they could force a wicket as well to slow things down in terms of batsmen got to walk on, walk off, etc.
Injury to a fast bowler, get somebody out there.
Yeah. Or did either of you, when it was the 2013 Ashes at the Oval on that last day and it was very dark?
I was there.
And I was there too. And I think it was Mitchell Stark aborting run-up and things like that for no reason at all.
I mean, that was very poorly managed by Cook, I have to say. I mean, because it was last day, and of course 3 or 4 days before, we'd already had the early finishes with bad light, so he knew there wasn't going to get the full overs in anyway.
Yeah, Mashraf bowls, and Warner just works that down the ground to long on. There's one run. You can see now on the television pictures that it's starting to drizzle harder. Umpire Long's shown looking at his colleague Chris Gaffney.
Pull the trigger.
So maybe they will. The groundsman are sat in position.
Here comes the rain again.
Long wants to go off. I look at him.
He doesn't like it, does he?
Yeah, he don't like it.
He's going to play this over and then he's going to consult with his colleague, I think.
So David Wall on 40, Smith is 22. He faces Mashraf now. Defensive stroke from
and of course, there's nothing,
Smith.
absolutely nothing Smith can do about this because it's all in the umpire's hands now.
Yeah. We know how much he respects the umpire's decisions, don't we? Having seen the IPL recently.
Well, that
We were
could
talking
be.
about this earlier on. I mean, two disgraceful shows of dissent in the final. Should have been sent off.
If that was 20% of his match fee for the dissent early in the competition, this could be 100%.
Yeah, well,
if he goes off at this point.
I remember Atherton getting fined 20% of his match fee for a tiny shake of his head when he was walking off.
Right, so there is a little bit of a delay here for not much reason.
That looks slightly brighter.
Yeah, Bangladesh are moving the field around, so
good.
Which is using up some time as Mashraf comes in to bowl just outside off for the delivery, which is played out by Smith the offside for no run.
What is Smith now playing for the rain break? This is weird, isn't it? What's going through his head?
Well, he can't affect it with his batting.
He can't.
What he can do is bunt the ball back because they're head on Duckworth Lewis. Bunt the ball back and hope that they get through the overs as quickly as
possible.
Straight back
to the bowler. There you go.
Without any delays from him.
I mean, I suppose
give them no excuses to waste time.
Yeah, if you're the bowler, you just walk away. You ignore the ball, don't you?
Ask for the ball to be dried.
I'm the bowler. I shall not do my own fielding.
Pretty heavy as Mashraf comes in again. He bowls and again.
I mean, there's
good fourth stump line there from Mashraf, and Smith just defends that straight back to him.
There's quite a lot of pressure on the umpires for this because this has a major influence on the tournament.
Yeah, I feel like it is quite heavy, but they're hoping it's going to blow over. That's why they're persevering with it, which is my theory was that they would stay on if it was 2 balls, no matter what.
Yeah, bit of local knowledge. We're looking out of the window here at the sycamore tree and how much those leaves are rustling. It does look pretty heavy there at the Oval, and Nigel Long is not a happy bunny.
Mashraf bowls to Smith again, just on the fourth stump line. Plays down into the ground. It goes to backward point, no run. So yeah, Smith. I mean, those balls haven't been there to hit, but I mean, previous overs they were milking those for singles, weren't they? And he perhaps just wants to survive. He doesn't want to get out at a break, or the fall of a wicket could be the thing that makes them go off.
Oh yeah, Smith.
Yeah.
Smith is now
Definitely a
thinking
new batsman at this stage should definitely have to reassess the ability of the new batsman coming in.
If the boot were on the other foot, he was captaining the fielding side in this position. He'd be in the umpire's ear, wouldn't he?
Absolutely. Mashraf comes in, bowls again, full stump line, and defensive stroke back to bowler.
I think I'd be asking for some sawdust as well.
So we've had 16 overs.
Totally, yeah.
So
right, here we go.
Chris Gaffney looks like he's had brain surgery.
Interesting
when he took his
tan
hat
line,
off
yeah.
there.
He's got hat hair or no hair.
He's got no hair, but still manages to have hat hair.
He's called them off.
Now this is interesting, everyone. They're off. We need 4 more overs to be bowled for there to be a game.
Yeah.
It's hammering it down. Lee, is that the name of the groundsman?
Lee 40, yeah.
Lee 40?
Yeah. Fortey.
Oh. Anyway, he's a mountain of a man.
And
he wears shorts in all conditions.
The Surrey ground staff are moving with their usual alacrity, which is to say no alacrity at all.
Let me do a couple of tweets then. We've got this little break happening, and we'll return to the break, which might be the most interesting thing that's happened today. Mitch Stringer is back with us saying thanks for the shout out. You're very welcome, our new friend, even though we disagree with your cricket politics, obviously. We have another new follower. It's either Think or Thy NC. You're very welcome. Do tweet us and let us know that you're not a bot. Messi Jez taking issue with me talking about the most deranged tweeter ever, tweeting something from the Orange Fuckwomble, president of the USA. I meant our most deranged tweeter. And last I looked, Donald Trump had not tweeted the show. Although you're welcome to do so, you're welcome to give us a couple of $1 million, Donald, if you wish. Spinner Grace is also with us. Insomniac's Delight. Cheers for the coverage again, guys. Does that mean it's good for sending you to sleep? Or truly hope not. But anyway, you're very welcome either way, Grace. Thanks for being with us. And Swing It Both Ways says, why are these Antipodean twats going at 5 and over? Fuck me, bat faster. Yes. Yeah, Jason's got some important piece of paper over there.
I do. It's an update on the Atherton fine, but I also want to play this jingle before because we don't get a chance to very often.
Oh, please.
If the rain comes, they stop playing bloody cricket.
Okay, so courtesy of our root scorer, statistician, the Atherton descent was in 1994, and he had to pay 1,250 quid as a fine.
Was that because mine was just a memory of him walking off, that slight shake of the head that he used to do, more in disappointment with himself than anything else, or the world in general. And it was half of his fee. Okay,
50% of his fee.
Well, you see,
Well, of course, I imagine he was captain at the time, so of course, double bubble, twice as bad.
Right. But anyway, I don't know if that relates to the exact same incident I'm thinking of, but possibly it does. Either way, Piggy Smith, with his awful, disgraceful displays of dissent in recent times, should be punished more heavily, shouldn't they? Shouldn't they?
I think so. A ban that takes him just past the Sydney Test, perhaps.
Yeah. It's got to be an Eric Cantona style ban. I mean, it's the equivalent of leaping into the crowd with your studs up.
There is one thing that this means. It means the Bear has a chance of getting back to watch some cricket, potentially.
Yes.
If they get back on again.
Weather dependent.
I think they probably have to get back on by about 7:30.
Really?
No, hang on.
Maybe later than that.
7:30.
Because it's a day-nighter, isn't it?
Day-nighter, so you have to
you
add another hour or two, so probably about 9 o'clock they would have to get back on still. So he might be here for a while yet.
We need to get Manny back for another interview.
Yeah, you feel...
Don't know.
Oh, there's some action, though. Is that the big covers going on?
It is the big covers going on, I think.
Yeah, so there's...
So this might be an extended delay.
I'll just return to your lovely tweets, and thanks for continually shunting them in. Well, as far as I know, our new friend Greg, Hester Sid, who referred to Piggy Smith as God, and I questioned that, said, is this not the face of a deity? He sent a picture in now. We know what he fucking looks like. We are blessed to witness his divine presence on this wondrous day.
We've watched his face for far too many occasions.
He reckons he needs to bowl Maxwell more, though.
Well, we did say that in the Australia-India Test match, didn't we?
Yeah. We're seeing a lovely buffer, Darren Lehman, our Australian coach, of course.
Very cheesed off, doesn't he?
He often, I mean, his face in repose is pissed off. That's basically it, isn't it? And Piggy Smith next to him, and there's lots of sucking of pens and rumpling of newspapers.
Oh, look, mate, we were done by the bloody weather.
Oh, look, mate. Look, mate, listen. Ravi Nair is with us. Hi, Ravi. It says, fuck me, bat faster, I think in response to Swing It Both Ways. Lars von Trier's latest sex-based dog meat film set in East London.
Well, to be honest...
Knackle says, it's umbrella-bendingly windy, but the rain's coming down vertically. Tough to call.
You could have said that 183 is well within T20 territory, so why did you try and get it in 20 overs in the first place?
Yeah, I mean...
And take the weather out of the equation if you could.
I guess they think it's a day-night game. I don't know what the cut-off point is. They would think we're going to get, 10 minutes when we'll be out there for the requisite number of overs between now and... going for it recklessly as if every moment is the last you might have on Earth is probably not the way to go and more risky.
But if the scheduled finish was something like 9:30, then you'd think, okay, they reduce it to Australia's 20 overs, and
so it's just after 9 o'clock, presumably.
Yeah, it'd be something like that. So we could be waiting a while. That depends, but I suppose they call it off. If it's an hour before the cut-off, and the groundsman says, "Well, this would take us an hour and a half to clean up.
And frankly, no one's going to argue with Lee. No one's arguing with Lee, the groundsman.
No.
No, he's a.
Does he listen to Guerrilla Cricket, Jace?
I don't think so. He's a big lad.
We know that. I mean, if
it doesn't matter what size you are, you can listen to Gorilla.
I think the thing the good news is you could probably outrun him anywhere.
Yeah, but if he gets
I've never seen him move quickly.
If he gets up ahead of steam, down a hill particularly, he's going to catch lots of things.
We'll stay up here in this hill.